Well, when I was training for my shows, a guy I knew mentioned a friend of his just had back surgery and needed someone to help him get in shape. I said, all right, fine. He introduces me to Frank Vincent. That was the guy. So I knew who Frank was because I saw Raging Bull, my favorite movie. This was around the late 80s. So I knew Frank from one or two films. There was another film, I was thinking it was called, was a comedy with Wise Guys, I think it was called. He was in that. And he was also Fast Easy Money with Rodney Dangerfield and Joe Pesci. So those films were kind of new. And believe it or not, I would see him very rarely, like around the area, like on the street somewhere or whatever, and I would recognize him because he lived in the same neighborhood. He was born in Massachusetts, grew up in Jersey City, but then he moved to Newark, New Jersey, where I'm from, and literally lived 5 blocks from me. So when I met him, I was very cool with him. I was like, how are you? He's like, you know who I am? I was like, yeah, I think I do. I was playing it cool. And I said, listen, you want to work out? I'll help you get in shape. Okay, went to the gym, and like the first day, we just hit it off. So because we're kind of from the same culture, the same like mold kind of thing, like old school guys. And it was a pleasure just to hanging around with him. So I would train him in the gym. And one day he just asked me, he said, you want to come with me on the set somewhere? So I would go to the movie sets. And he got me like a couple of extra roles. Like in Goodfellas, he got me an extra role. And I would go hang out with him and on sets. And I was actually with him in Goodfellas with his famous scene, Victor Time Box. I mean, watching that with Pesci and De Niro, this just amazing. What you just by watching these guys, what you learn.
So you were there for the Billy Bat scene?
I drove him there. That was like his little assistant bodyguard. Like, it was like his trainer, his chauffeur, that's what he liked. I liked it. He liked it. So it was a perfect fit.
Oh my goodness, man. So I'm sure this definitely might come off as a dumb question, but that famous scene where De Niro and Pesci are stomping on the Billy Bat's character, is that Frank Vincent in that scene, or is that a double that's getting beat?
Looks just like him, right?
Identical.
Yeah, that's Pete Pucossi. He's a stunt coordinator.
Oh wow,
fantastic. Yeah, look, and Pete was also in the trunk when they were stabbing him.
Oh, so that was him in the trunk.
That was his stunt double, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, Frank was in the trunk for like when they opened it, I think you see him. Mm-hmm. But then when they start stabbing him, that was just stunt double. And Frank and I were sitting in the trailer listening to them shoot him 100 times. And that was Pete. He's a good guy. He's also still a coordinator on Sopranos too.
Oh wow. That's amazing. And well, I don't know if this was coincidental, but you and Frank both joined the Sopranos during season 5.
That was just coincidence. Yeah, Frank didn't get me to help me with that. That was coincidence. That just happened to be. That just is, a cherry on top of the ice cream. To be in the show and him be in the show. But what happened was eventually he had gotten a call from John Gallagher, who was the director, and he was filming a film called Street Hunter. Mm-hmm. So he wanted Frank to play the gangster. What else? So Frank says, "Hey, I got to talk to this director. You want to go for a ride? I'm driving him. Said I'll pick you up in an hour, whatever it was." So we're going there, and we're sitting in John Gallagher's living room in New York, and he's telling Frank about his role. You're going to be a gangster. You're going to have 2 bodyguards. Then he looks at me and says, "You're an actor." Now, at that time, I had done that couple extras. And Frank convinced me to take a couple acting classes. So I did that. So he says, "Are you an actor?" And I says, "Not really." I said, "I did a couple extra roles." He said, "Well, you would be," because saw kind of how we were friends. And he says, "You would be great for one of his bodyguards." And I said, "Oh, wow." He gave me the part. So just like that. I mean, that's how lucky he got. So by getting that part in the film, because it was a Screen Actors Guild film, made me eligible to join the union. So then once I joined the union, Frank hooked me up with his agent, and then I just started going on auditions myself. Yeah. So that's how it happened.